Greatness. I want to say right now tonight, how many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest motherfuckers to ever touch a fucking microphone? Dreamville, y'all love Kendrick Lamar, correct? As do I.
Is he out of the big three? April 2024. Dreamville Festival. The biggest moment of the year in hip-hop. And J. Cole, one of the three kings of this generation, walks on stage, grabs the mic, and does something nobody expected. He apologizes. Not to a fan. Not to the media. He apologizes to Kendrick Lamar for a diss track that lasted maybe 48 hours before he deleted it. The internet lost its mind. Memes. Mockery. People calling him soft. People saying he lost his spot in the big three. Lil Pump called him a quote, fucking pussy on social media. And for 2 years, Cole stayed quiet. He let the world talk. He let people rewrite his legacy. But now, 2026, the dust has finally settled. Kendrick's at the Super Bowl. Drake is. Drake. And J. Cole? He just dropped what he says is his final album. A double-disc masterpiece called The Fall Off. And in his first real interviews since the apology, he's finally speaking his truth. So where does J. Cole really stand? Not just in the rap game, but in his own head, his own heart, his own wallet. This is the story of a man who walked away from beef to find something bigger, and the empire he built while everyone was looking the other way. To understand where J. Cole stands today, you have to go back to April 2024. The Drake-Kendrick war was heating up. Cole had just dropped 7-Minute Drill. His response to Kendrick's verse on Like That. It was mild by beef standards, but it was a shot. And for exactly 48 hours, J. Cole was in the battle. And then he wasn't. In a recent interview just weeks ago, Cole finally explained what happened. He said, "In that moment, I felt lifted and I got light and I got excited. Because the 2 or 3 days before that, I was stressed out. I felt like I had misrepresented myself. I was giving life to division and to negative storylines about somebody that I mess with and I got love for and care about." Cole knew what the reaction would be. He knew he'd be clowned. He knew his reputation would take a hit. And it did. He felt it. The mockery. The questions. The doubt. But he also felt something else. Something he's learned to trust over 40 years of life. Peace. For years, the narrative was simple. The big three, Drake, Kendrick, Cole. 3 titans, 1 throne. And for years, Cole played the game. He rapped about being the best. He competed. He wanted to be mentioned in the same breath as the legends. But somewhere along the way, the game started feeling different. What really bothered him wasn't the battle itself. It was what came after. He watched Drake get torn apart. He watched the world turn on his friend. And he said something that hit different. It's disgusting how people tried to use that opportunity to either show how they really felt about Drake the whole time, or just pile on and tear this dude down and create a narrative as if he's not great. Cole has always been loyal. To his friends. To his city. To his own sense of right and wrong. And watching the bloodbath from the bleachers? It confirmed something for him. He didn't want to be part of that. He never did. All he wants is peace. But he's not naive. And that tension between love and distance, between loyalty and self-preservation, is exactly what The Fall Off is about. So where does J. Cole stand financially? Depending on who you ask, estimates range from $60 million to $100 million. But here's what matters more than the number: how he got there. Jermaine signed to Roc Nation in 2009 after Jay-Z heard his mixtape, The Warm Up. But unlike a lot of artists, he never gave up control. In 2007, before the Roc Nation deal even existed, Cole co-founded Dreamville Records with his friend Ibrahim Hamad. The label started as a dream. Today, it's a multi-million-dollar empire with artists like JID, Ari Lennox, and Earth Gang. And when Dreamville Records dropped Revenge of the Dreamers 3 in 2019, it debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 and went platinum. That's not a major label pushing an album. That's an independent label, built from the ground up, dominating the charts. Then there's touring. In 2017 alone, Cole's For Your Eyes Only tour grossed over $50 million. Now, in 2026, he's announced the Fall Off World Tour, his first global trek in nearly a decade. 50 cities across North America, Europe, Australia, and Africa. And if history is any indicator, that tour is going to print money. But here's the thing about Cole. He's not flashy. His net worth isn't built on mansions in LA and fleets of Lamborghinis. It's built on ownership. His music catalog, which he owns, generates millions in streaming royalties annually. Dreamville is his. The publishing is his. And when you own your work, that's generational wealth, not just a few years of hits. So what does J. Cole actually own? Let's start with the most meaningful asset he has: his childhood home in Fayetteville, North Carolina. The house on the cover of 2014 Forest Hills Drive. In 2015, Jermaine bought the property back. And he didn't turn it into a museum or a vacation spot. He turned it into a rent-free housing program for single mothers. That's not a tax write-off. That's not a PR move. That's a man who watched his mother struggle and decided to use his success to make sure someone else didn't have to. The Dreamville Foundation, which he started in 2011, provides resources and opportunities for urban youth, not just with money, but with his actual time and attention. Then there's the Dreamville Festival. For years, it was an annual tradition in Raleigh, bringing tens of thousands of people to Dorothea Dix Park, pumping millions into the local economy, and creating a space for the community to come together. It ended in 2025, but its impact on North Carolina culture is permanent. As for cars, Cole keeps it low-key. He's been spotted in a Range Rover, a Ferrari here and there. But he's not the type to flex on Instagram. His biggest luxury? Freedom. The freedom to drop an album when he wants. To say no to $22 million label deals. To walk away from rap beef when it doesn't align with who he is. J. Cole walked away from a beef that could have defined his legacy. Instead, he chose to define it himself. He chose peace. He chose his family. He chose to end his career on his own terms. And in doing so, he reminded us that being the biggest doesn't always mean being the greatest. Sometimes, being the greatest means knowing when to walk away. What do you think? Did he make the right call? Is the fall-off a fitting end to his career? And who should I break down next? Drop their name in the comments. If you want to understand how your favorite artists really build wealth, and how they navigate the crossroads between art, money, and legacy, hit subscribe to Wealth Wonders. We're building financial freedom one video at a time.